Hey everybody, it's Mark Schulz here with another edition of Recovery in Aviation. Hey, this morning we're going to talk about digital transformation, how it affects your business, and how you can use that to grow your business in this difficult time when we're all looking for opportunities. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me this morning. Hey, this is a live broadcast and we're going to be talking about a lot of really interesting things this morning about growing your business, and we're going to be talking about digital transformation and what opportunities exist to be able to grow your business. Hey, I'm live here right now. I have opportunity to look at questions in front of me. I wanted to ask you if you would just share this stream out there with people, and remember, this is live and I can see your questions right in front of me and a screen in front of me, and we'll be able to have a live interaction. So, hey, let's have a conversation about recovery in aviation. Hey, I've really been passionate and focused on recovery in aviation over the last year, and especially since early this year in March. You know, we've all been faced with some really big challenges this year, and we've been trying to figure out how to understand what's happening around us, how to be able to adjust our businesses, and how to be able to change and to be able to respond to such a huge event that's happened to us, you know, in this industry in aviation. And, you know, one of the things that I've learned is that not every aspect of aviation has been negatively impacted. Yes, sadly, if you're in the airline industry or if you're in the industries that support aircraft and the delivery of aircraft, those have been negatively impacted. But I've seen so many businesses that have been pivoting and shifting and finding new ways to be able to grow their business, that I think we need to look at those people and see what they're doing to be able to improve and to be successful and to be able to model that to create success in our own businesses. Hey, I know there's a lot of you out there watching right now, and while we're just getting rolling here and getting started, hey, why don't you give me a shout out? Just put a note in the comments here down below and tell me where you're from, so I know who's watching out there. It's always great for me to be able to know who's watching the broadcast, to know who it is that I'm talking to, because it's live. That's why we do live broadcasts, is to be able to do, you know, live interactions with people out there. So, hey, give me a shout out in the comments on where you are and where you're reaching out to me from. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn and on YouTube and on Facebook and on Vimeo on our original Recovery in Aircraft website. So if you're looking for ways to reach out to us in the future, just do a search in your browser on #digital_aircraft, and you'll find all the different places on which our content is broadcast out there. But hey, I am passionate about recovery in aviation, about growth in aviation. Ever since I was a young boy, I've been passionate about aviation. Some say I've been obsessed with aviation, and it's been something that's just been really important to me. I've spent my entire career in aviation, and you know, in maintenance and flight operations, and I've worked for manufacturers and for airlines, and in the last 20 plus years I've been delivering digital solutions to people. Okay, I've been helping people to understand what their needs are in their business and what kind of solutions, you know, could be used to be able to create success, either to give them new functionality or to create efficiency, but really to be able to help grow a business and to make it more efficient, in order that we can provide more efficient aviation transport. And so, you know, that's something that we all need to be doing right now. Listen, recent events in the last couple of weeks is that there's been some additional lockdowns, you know, that have come in the European regions right now. And I know many of you are watching, you know, from that region right now. And, you know, that's really affected our businesses, where we have overnight earlier this year had to find new ways to be able to conduct business. Hey, I myself was traveling for, you know, many years. I mean, in the last couple of years, it's been really, really heavy because I've been trying to help grow businesses during that time. And, you know, in the most recent full year that I had of travel, I traveled 480,000 miles to go out and to be able to meet with companies and to be able to, you know, meet with them face to face and to engage and to be able to learn about the businesses. And they were really primarily MROs and airlines and different businesses. And so my primary method and way of reaching out to people was to go travel and sit in front of somebody and have a conversation. And, we can't even, well, it's very difficult to travel internationally right now, all right? We heard some good news that there were some vaccines coming up, and we expect that in the near future that that will, be able to be distributed out, and some of the countries will begin to have better consistent policies for travel and entry into the countries. But right now, many countries have a 14-day quarantine period. And so what I used to be able to do is I used to be able to jump onto an airplane and fly to a country and go have a meeting and come back, all right? And today, it might require me to jump on an airplane, fly to a country, stay there for 14 days while I quarantine, have my meeting, come back, and maybe even quarantine again, depending upon where I'm coming from. And so it's extremely difficult. And so we have had to, out of necessity, find new ways to conduct business, all right? Hey, listen, I see there's a lot of people online right now, and I invite you to comment and to join me, and let's just see if I have any questions out there. And if you have any questions coming in, I'll do my best to be able to respond to those questions. So let's bring those questions in. Hey, and so one of the things that I found about a year ago is that I was trying to promote the idea of using digital to be able to grow my business, is to be able to use digital to be able to communicate my message and to be able to talk to people about digital transformation and about the pillars of digital transformation, the 4 pillars of digital transformation, and to be able to help companies to be able to accelerate their digital transformation through the use of digital. And this was about a year and a half ago that I was starting to do this. And then all of a sudden, earlier this year, it wasn't just something that I preferred doing or I thought was the best method of doing that. It became something that was a necessity. And what I found is that people were not exactly prepared, to be able to do that. Is that, maybe we weren't used to communicating digitally, or we didn't have, all the tools that we needed to be able to communicate digitally. And so this really became an important part of doing business. And so, for us, it's important that we're able to effectively communicate a message, and that we're able to have a focused message, and that it's done in a way that's successful and it's not distracting, and we're able to communicate. And so it's important that we understand the key elements of being able to communicate digitally and to be able to do it successfully. Hey, who's been out there on a webinar or on a broadcast and the audio's bad or the video's bad or the message is wandering all over the place? Those are key problems that people really have. And this is really a struggle, and people are needing to learn how to change that. Or maybe they have an old computer that doesn't have a good video camera, or they have bad audio or bad lighting where they're doing things. And all of these things distract from our message. And it's important that we focus on how do we have the most effective means of digital communication. That's really an important thing to do. Hey, also, as we're looking at our businesses, the economy has taken a downturn in many businesses, and we've had to look around us, and we've had to look for new ways to be able to adjust and how to look at what's successful around us. And we've had to learn to become more dynamic in our businesses and to learn how to be able to adjust or to be able to move into other places to be able to create success. Hey, about 2 months ago now, it was the end of August, I made a decision that I was going to do a virtual summit, all right? And at that virtual summit, many of you out there watching today have been involved in that virtual summit. And we brought together really knowledgeable speakers and leaders and CEOs in the industry that were delivering strategies and tactics on success over a 3-day period. And I decided that I wanted to really try to blow this up and make this be a big thing, and bring to you ideas that people had about what they were doing in their businesses to be able to create digital transformation. And out of that came an understanding that there were segments of the business that were growing, segments of the business that were growing faster than others, that they actually had record profits this year. And, I have a question for you. How would you like to have record profits this year? And so it's really important for us, to be able to understand what's happening in our business and to be able to change and to pivot. And so digital transformation ends up being one key element for us to be able to create success. And what really is digital transformation? Let's talk about that for a minute, okay? Digital transformation is not just making a small adjustment in your business to be able to create success. It's not about just creating a new efficiency. Digital transformation is the complete rethinking of your business and its processes and the application of technology to create radically bigger success within your business. That's digital transformation. And it's based really on 4 pillars, which are belief, people, processes, and technology. And it's really on those 4 pillars that we build the basis of digital transformation. Technology is not digital transformation. It's the combining of those 4 key elements to create success in our business, focusing on the vision for the future, being able to bring the highest return on investment items, to greater success. And maybe that's completely transforming the business that you have to create a bigger and better success, or maybe it's shifting to another place. But through the application of digital and new business processes and really believing in what we're doing and the applying of enabling technology, that's digital transformation. And so if you look at it, there's really 2 major aspects of digital that I'm talking to you about this morning, okay? And number 1 is, how do we apply digital in the growing of our business? How do we learn how to better get our message out? How do we learn how to better communicate? How do we create an environment that can make up for our lack of ability to be able to travel or to communicate during these hard times? That's number 1, all right? Number 2 is, how do we successfully create digital transformation within our businesses, all right? And it's based on those 4 pillars of digital transformation that I'm talking about. But hey, why am I talking about these things this morning? Let me just tell you why, all right? Is because there's an important event coming up in the industry here soon, and it's the Aircraft Commerce Virtual Summit event, which is happening actually next week between November 16th and 20th, all right? And now this event is an event which brings to you actually 3 different events. Let me tell you a little bit about my history with this particular situation. Now listen, I found traveling to be an important part of getting my message out, whether I'm a business or whether I'm trying to get business. That's an important part of being able to conduct business, is getting our message out. And one way we do that is through networking, all right? And I have typically over the years gone to different in-person networking events like the aircraft commerce events. And these events were typically held multiple times a year. And the ones that I attended were the aircraft IT events primarily. So they have 3 primary events. They have the connected passenger and the connected aircraft event. That's one of them. The second event is the flight operations event. And the third event is the MRO aircraft IT event, which focused on digital and software vendors and what's available to us in the aircraft industry, to optimize our business. And I typically attended 3 of those events a year. About this time last year, I would have been attending the event in Bangkok, where they held an aircraft IT event in Bangkok, and then they typically hold one in the US. They held one earlier this year in Miami, and then they typically hold one in Europe, in Amsterdam or in London. And so those events have been important times when, either as a business, as a vendor, that I've been able to communicate my message, or I've been able to go to an event and look at what other vendors had and learn about software. And it became a really important time where I could actually network with people and to be able to learn about software and to be able to meet people and really grow my business. All of a sudden, we can't do that anymore. So what's happened is that companies like Aircraft Commerce have now come up with virtual events. And this is their first virtual event next year. And next week. This is their first virtual event. It's happening next week, all right? And I've been given the privilege to be able to speak at that event, all right? And I have 3 times next week, actually, where I'm going to be able to speak at that event. One is going to be a recorded presentation, which you can actually watch on demand. That's one. But there's also 2 events which are scheduled, which I want to personally invite you to come to. The first one is actually on Thursday, and it's at a kind of an odd time, but it's on Thursday, November 19th at 1:45 to 2:15 Eastern time, okay? And they also have the GMT time there on the screen.
And I wanted to invite you to come to that event, because let me tell you what I'm going to talk to you about that event, all right? I'm going to talk to you about three very important secrets to success in this digital world, all right? We're going to talk about how to grow your business by using media, just like we are here today, all right? Then we're going to talk about the next secret, which is how to have a very effective presentation and how to do a good job at being able to communicate your message. That's number 2. Number 3, in that time, in just this very short 30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about digital transformation and those 4 pillars of digital transformation that I was mentioning: belief, people, process, and technology, and how you use those 4 key factors to be able to create success within your business, how to blow up your business, and how to create new success in these difficult times through that kind of a situation. Next, the third opportunity you have to actually listen to me speak is going to be on Friday. And that's Friday between 11 and 11:30 Eastern time. And again, the GMT time is on the screen. And at that presentation, I'm going to be there with a guest from Aerosoft, the company Aerosoft Systems, and they are a specialist in MRO systems and in content management systems. And Thanos is going to be my co-host in that particular event, and we're going to talk about digital transformation and how having structured digital data is a critical part to the success of your business. These are 3 really great presentations that you'll have an opportunity to hear me speak. Now, all you have to do is, you'll see running across the bottom of the screen is the times or the dates and that event and where you can go register. Let me just say this: if you're an MRO, or if you're an airline, or if you're an OEM, you can actually register for that event for free, completely free. Others, there's a charge to it, but I believe that it's worth it, to be able to attend this event, because there's going to be dozens of vendors that are going to be there, speakers over a 5-day period, focusing on those 3 things. There's going to be lots of different companies that are going to be there, as well as really knowledgeable leaders talking to you from the podium about tactics and strategies for success. This is extremely important because you will have the opportunity to learn, to be able to network and connect with people during this event. And that's making up for those lack of opportunities to go to in-person events right now. It's really a great opportunity. And I have found these events to be extremely helpful to my business and to me personally, to be able to learn a lot. And you should check it out too. If you want more information, or if you want to reach out to somebody directly, there's 2 ways you can do that. One, the URL to be able to register is scrolling across the bottom of my screen right now. But number 2, you can also reach out to Ed Haskey, who is the event coordinator, and Adele Wostenhume, who also was one of the event coordinators. You can reach out to either of them, and you can learn more about this upcoming event. So again, let me just tell you one more time. There's 3 opportunities for you to be able to hear my message, as well as lots of other people. There's plenty of opportunities for you to hear about different subjects and topics, subjects like maintenance and maintenance systems and drones and flight operations and business cases from airlines and MROs. I saw a really interesting agenda. If you go to that URL, you'll see the agenda, and there's lots of different podium speakers. I just happen to be one of them, but I wanted to personally invite you to come and attend this event because I am passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about helping people to grow their businesses. And so you're going to want to come to the one on Thursday, which is at 1:45 to 2:15. And during that event, I'm going to talk about how to blow up your business, all right? It's how to be able to grow your business and how to implement digital transformation within your business. And then again on Friday, I'm going to be there with my co-host Thanos with Aerosoft, and we're going to talk about MRO systems, and we're going to talk about content management systems. Hey, but there's so many great vendors that are going to be there. You have an opportunity to meet and greet and set up meetings with lots of different people. Web Manuals is going to be there. They have a great business model of being able to allow you to be able to access manuals from the web. And then Ramco is going to be there, and they have unbelievably great systems, that exist. And Collins is one of the key sponsors of the event. And, there's so many different companies that are going to be there that it presents this opportunity in a concentrated period of time for you to be able to understand what's happening in the industry, learn about strategies and tactics from the people on the podium, and actually visit with people, and to be able to do some networking, within this event that we so much want to do that's been taken away from us, during this time. So again, look at the bottom of the screen. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen is where you can go register for this event, and join me next week in engaging in this event, because you will find it to be something that maybe you won't have time to do in the future. Hey, listen, in the past, I had to fly, for a week and sometimes 7 days to be able to go to these events. I had to fly for, a day or two, maybe to get to Bangkok. And then there was set up an event, and there was hotel costs, and there was airfare costs. And then there was, the time to do that. And yes, I miss meeting with people, face to face. But this presents an opportunity and time for us, is that, I said at the beginning that some of us are locked down and we can't even go places. And, we crave action with people, and being able to talk to people in person. And these kind of virtual events give us an opportunity to be able to do that. Now, don't just think of this as a situation where there'll be selling or people trying to sell you something, or, I have always considered these valuable networking events where I can connect with people, and where I can learn about software, and I can learn about what other people are doing in a very concentrated period of time. I actually have the ability to increase my knowledge, and to be able to, increase my stature, my understanding of things. And, it gives you the chance really to be able to do that. All right. And you might be too busy at other times to be able to do that. And so these are great opportunities really to be able to do that. And maybe in the future, we hope that in the near future that we'll be able to return to in-person events, because, it makes a big difference when you can sit across the table with somebody and, have a cup of coffee and just be able to interact with people. But right now we're not able to do that. And I'm seeing a lot of comments and things coming in with people that are saying, I'll see you there. And there's different things. People are saying, I see you there, I'll see you there. So it's pretty exciting. But I just wanted to invite you personally, to engage, because I just have been really fulfilled by doing those kind of things. And I just wanted to communicate to you is that as I'm passionate about growing aviation and passionate about digital and digital transformation, I think that we need to find ways to create success in our industry. And, that's why I did the virtual summit that I did at the end of August. And let me just tell you is that, I had 6,000 people register for that event in August. And we had at least 20,000 viewers of that event, during the event. And then many, many, many after that. And I cannot tell you how much I learned from the people that attended that event, from the presenters of the event and the people that attended the event. And I walked away with, some new contracts, and I walked away with some new relationships and a tremendous amount of knowledge. And I really also walked away with a new perspective on something. I just want to tell you this, is that by the end of my virtual summit, I was asking myself, is the title of this broadcast really correct anymore? Should I really be talking about recovery in aviation? Because there's many aspects of the aviation industry that are growing dramatically. And I told you at the beginning of this broadcast that I know some that have had record profits this year as a result of some of the changing in the industry. But still, those of us that are in the MRO business and the parts business and the OEM business and the airline business, many people have lost their jobs, and the business has been pulled back, and we're needing to find new ways to be able to grow within the industry. And I can't tell you how important it is to attend events like this. I personally, wanted to be able to speak because, I reached out to Charles Williams, who is the chief editor of Aircraft Commerce, and asked him if I could speak at this event, because I really am passionate about getting my message out. And I really want to be able to communicate to people about what they can do to grow their businesses during these times, and what we can be doing to do digital and digital transformation in our businesses. And so if you want to learn about those things, go to this event. All right. Take a look at the URL down on the bottom there, and engage, and just look for the speakers that you think will be the most interesting to you. You have an opportunity to attend all week long. I have some questions here, and it's just a little bit out of my view. I'm going to going to reach in here and take a look. Yep. So I got some comments here. I got a really good comment from Faraz, and he's saying, good job. The root cause of the said lockdown is COVID-19, and it's really time to, have total integration amongst all sectors to combat this. And again, let's use this and the quality tools we have to fight this and avoid the traditional solution lockdowns. And so he was really speaking to lockdowns, but what I'm saying right now is that we really need to come together as people in the industry. And I really believe that if we lean into recovery, that we will together be able to help one another. Really, that's why I did this virtual summit a couple of months ago. And that's why Aircraft Commerce is doing this event, is because they want to give us a venue to be able to communicate with one another and to continue to learn and to figure out how to grow our businesses during these difficult times. So, hey, listen, I just want to tell you that one last time to invite you to the events, all right? And I'll just say that next week, the event runs from Monday until Friday, and you can register at that URL across the bottom. And why am I really pushing this event so much? It's because I'm passionate. It's because I'm passionate about aviation, and I believe in networking and communication. And I believe that together, that we can band together and that we can create success and recovery in this industry. And so I want to personally invite you and challenge you to lean into the difficulties that we have. Don't sit back and say, I'm locked down. What can I do? Go to events, be part of digital transformation, be part of networking, lift your skills, improve what it is that we're doing, make it so that we can be better at what we do, and we can actually not just be impacted by the difficult times that we have, but actually learn how to grow and thrive more than we ever have before. So together, let's work together to create recovery in aviation. And I believe that as leaders in the industry and as we lean into this, that we can do that. So join me in this recovery in aviation and lean into this. So thanks for watching today. I appreciate your time, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week at the Aircraft Commerce event. Fair winds and following seas to you. And thanks for watching today. Bye.